Hey everyone, I got another video for you. Today we're going to work more on that thoracic area, that middle part of the back between the shoulder blades, and some shoulder mobility. So one thing, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to have to change the camera angle a few times, so bear with the movements. But the first thing we're going to do is a scapular slide on the floor, or if you have a foam roller, even better, you get a nice chest stretch when you're on a foam roller, but on the floor, you'll still get a little bit of a stretch. Start with your arms here, and you just raise them above your head. Try and keep them on the floor the whole time. Don't let any part of that arm come up. Getting a nice stretch, opening up the chest, as well as feeling your shoulder blades move. We're going to do about 10 of these. You can do about 10 to 15. Moving around. Nice little warm up for the shoulders here. First two exercises, we're going to do both on the floor, so I don't have to change my camera angle too often. All right, get in one more. All right, for this next exercise, you're going to need a little towel if you want. We're going to place this right under our foreheads, unless you don't mind your face being flat into the floor. We're going to lay over, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a Y raise, but we're going to move it into what's called a handcuff position. So great big shoulder movement. Right now I'm kind of in a tight space. You'll want a little bit more space for this so you can really open up that arm, but it's okay. Just be careful of your surroundings. You're going to hit something. Put that towel under your head here. Raise those arms up in a Y. Bring them out and around. And behind your back. You'll notice when they're behind your back, it looks like that handcuff position. So there's that name for you. Nice full rotation. If you can't see my hand, it's coming with a palm down, rotating. Rotate that shoulder so it ends up with a palm up. Don't try and keep that hand just in one spot. Shoulder won't work very well that way. Do about 8 to 10 of those. Now we're going to go into a half kneeling position. Readjust my camera here so you can see me. What we're going to do, actually get this full look in here. So nice little half kneeling position. Got that knee over the heel so we keep that nice and flat. We're nice and upright over here. Our chest is up nice and tall. What we're first going to do is a nice little big full arm circle. So we have our hand here in this starting position. The same leg that's up is the same arm that's moving. Chest is forward, nice and upright. I'm going to rotate that arm, open up that chest. Make sure, try not to twist those hips at all. All of this rotation is coming out of that shoulder and that thoracic area. Of course, this is an exercise you want to do on both sides. Got a left side and a right side. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the exercise right after this. Same thing, the arm that's, or the leg that is up, that's the arm that's going to be moving. Again, nice tall upright chest. Arms directly out in front. Rotate open. So now we're getting a nice big chest opening, rotating in that middle back. Make sure you're not scrunching those shoulders up at all. Let that upper trap relax. If you can handle being on one knee for the full time, go ahead and do the right side all together with these two exercises, and then do the left side. Big thing on that first exercise I did with that arm circle, you want to try and keep that arm as tight as possible. If you have very tight shoulders, that arm will drift out from you. Your goal is to think that there's a wall right next to that leg and that you're trying to not touch that wall. That's the goal of that exercise here. This goal is to try and get as wide open as possible, making a great big T with your body. without trying to twist those hips. So the more I can twist up here in the thoracic area, the more mobility it's got. All right, then the last two, we're gonna go up into a standing position. One more adjustment here for that camera. I'm gonna do a Cuban press. Typically a Cuban press is doing fully stood up. I like to do it with just a slight angle in my hip, so about a quarter here of a hip bend, hip hinge. I feel that I get a lot more out of my upper back out of this that way, as opposed to trying to just keep that shoulder steady and staying in this position the whole time. So with this exercise, I'm pulling up, nice little scarecrow looking position, rotate at the shoulder, and press above my head, all the way back through. This one you definitely want to pay attention to each step. Don't try to cheat them. Each rotation or each movement hits the shoulder differently. Here we're getting a lot of that rear delt, getting a lot of the, oh, now I can't even think of what those muscles are called. Those four tiny ones that people always tear. Rotator cuffs. That rotation is working a lot of that rotator cuff. That press through, we're getting the rest of that deltoid head. So from the side, I'm here. Draw that nice nut. Notice how my elbow is nicely in line with my shoulder. I've rotated so my arm is nice and even with my head, and I'm pressing through. So big things you want to look for, this 90 here. When I rotate, it's keeping here with that 90 and I press all the way through. Get about 8 of those in. I'll go over the numbers again really quick. We got the scapular slides. Do 10 to 15. It's a nice relaxing exercise. That floor Y with the handcuff. Do about 10 of those. Definitely get that shoulder going if you have any issues in the shoulder. The half kneeling arm circle and that wide open, open to close or close to open T. Do about 8 of each of those. And then that Cuban press, do 8 also. And then the last one, just because we're all inside and we're social distancing and quarantined, we're gonna give ourselves a nice big hug and then hug the world. Open up that chest, oh, nice, great big hug, stretch that back out. And then we're gonna hug the world, open up that chest, and one more time. Hug yourself and give the world a nice big hug. All right, thanks for watching.